Hi, everyone. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Justin Birch. I'm a professional comic book letterer, but before I was making comics, I was collecting them. Today is going to be a little bit different video. Yes, it is a WhatNot mail call, some good and some bad. So I'm going to show off those books, and maybe we'll talk about the bad. Um, Maybe get a conversation starting in the comments down below. We'll see. So uh, the first books, the first set of books I want to show you are the good. A very positive, pleasant experience with this seller, and I will name them because I think anytime someone has something positive to say, it should be shared, right? That way, that anybody who may be watching this can use that information that I have shared, that I provide, and base their decision on whether or not to spend their money with the seller. So I think anytime that kind of information can be shared, it's a positive. By no means am I telling you that you should spend your money with the seller or not spend the money with the seller. That is a decision that only you can make for yourself. So first up, I was on a whatnot sale. I think it was back before Christmas or right around Christmas. Maybe it was Christmas Eve, which is why I was getting such good deals on these books. The seller was Worlds of Wonder Comics. And they were running a sale in my weakness, Silver Age Marvel books that they were running starting out at like $3. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I'm on a Whatnot stream or watching a Whatnot sale and you're putting up Silver Age Marvel books for under $20, I'm gonna bid. So these are the ones that I want. The first one is Tales to Astonish number 87. So we've got the great Hulk cover there. The next one up is Fantastic Four 76. And of course I've made the decision that anytime from this point forward, anytime that I get Silver Age or Golden Age books, they're gonna have those clear backing boards on there. Next up, I love this cover. I think it's just because of the colors themselves. But this is Fantastic Four number 79. Great thing cover there, and appearing in only the way that Jack Kirby can pencil him. But I love the greenish blue colors on this cover because it's just such a unique color that you don't see a lot on covers during that time period. Next up, we have Fantastic Four 98. Another great Silver Age Fantastic Four book. And I think I only paid somewhere between $20 to $30 for these. I thought that it was a really, really good deal. So I have one more book that I picked up from that sale, and it's by far the biggest book. That's the key of the group. It is Captain America 115. Great Red Skull cover. I believe this is the first appearance of the Cosmic Cube. Um, Someone let me know if I'm incorrect. Just tell me in the comments. But yeah, I think that's the first appearance of the Cosmic Cube. And it is a very nice, very sharp, very, very fine looking copy. Uh, I know this isn't going to show up well. Uh, I've just realized that my videos don't look that great when they're on YouTube. Probably because I'm recording them through StreamYard and I'm only doing it in 720p and not 1080p. Eventually, I'll fix that. So that was the good. That was the good stuff that I picked up, the good seller that I would gladly buy from again. Unfortunately, now we have to talk about the bad. And in fact, I would call this the bad and the ugly. Um, on again December Christmas Eve ish, I jumped into a live stream and not a live stream. I jumped into a Whatnot sale, and the seller was putting up again those Marvel Silver Age books, and I, it's my weakness. What can I say? So Some of these I was okay with, and the one at the end I will show you I'm not okay with. But so the first one, there were all kinds of red flags and warnings about uh, purchasing these books. The seller kept making the comment that he is losing money on them, and that if people don't bid them up, he's just going to have to end the sale. But he never ended the sale. He just kept going. And that should be a red flag. If someone is telling you that they're losing money and they're going to have to end the sale, why would they keep doing it? Why would they let the sale continue and continue to lose money? Like there's uh no reason or no like they're not being forced to continue the sale. So that seemed a little off to me to begin with, and I should have figured that out. I should have really, listened to my gut on that one. So that's on me. But the first book that I want to show you is Avengers number 29, and this one's okay. I haven't taken it out of the original bag and board because I wanted to show it to you. Um, so I haven't really flipped through it or looked at the back yet. But the point that I want to make is the seller had this valued at $350, and it's not a $350 book. Nowhere close. It that's just it. I think I paid maybe like 20 or $30 for it, so I'm not that upset. Um, and the sale continues, and again, the seller is claiming that these prices need to go up. People need to start bidding these things up. He's losing all this money. He's just going to shut the sale down. So the next book is A Tales to Astonish 55. Again, original bag and board that I got from the seller, and the seller had this one valued at $300, which again, I don't believe that this is a $300 book, but it is what it is. And I'd also like to point out that there are these weird bags that um, aren't. I've never seen comic bags like this. Uh, so I'm gonna try and open this one just so everyone can see it. And if you have seen comic bags like this, please let me know. But there's just two flaps, like one flap there, one flap there. I've never seen where this middle section here is cut out, and I don't know what that is or what the purpose of that is. So if anybody has experience with that, please let me know. Okay, so the last book that I got from this seller uh, is it's what left such a bad sour taste in my mouth. It is I've gone back and been reading the Chris Claremont John Byrne X-Men run, and so one of my unofficial goals for 2024 was to pick up as many of those books in 9, 6, 9, 8 grades as possible. Some of them are really pricey, right? So the seller puts up this book and he says, and quote unquote, I still have the video clip, and I went back and I watched this because I don't want to misrepresent what they said. I want it to be as factual as possible. Their exact words were, "This book is a 9496. It's a 9496." So with that information, and obviously my heart got in the way because it's an X-Men book, and I've been reading it, and I want those in high grade. I thought, oh, a 9496, I could send that off to the comic chiropractor. We could probably get that 98. So that the book in question is X-Men 109. It's the first appearance of Weapon Alpha, or it's Vindicator. Come on, you guys know it's Vindicator. Had this valued at $350. So this was the book I was most excited to get. This is the one that I was really looking forward to. I think I paid probably like $75 for it, and I get it. I open it. I open the package it came in, which we're gonna get to all of that in a second. I open the package, and the first thing I do is I look at the spine, and I am counting roughly anywhere between 10 to 15 color breaking spine ticks. Now, I'm not the best at grading my books, um, but I'm fairly confident that color breaking spine ticks, and then that many of them, will prevent you from getting a 9.4 to 9.6. Um, it it's very frustrating, right? Like being purposely uh misled that something like that happened. And I take partial responsibility. Again, something about the sale seemed off and I didn't listen to my gut. So I accept the responsibility of that. I should have known better. 100%. However, there's also a responsibility on the part of the seller to be factual, to be true, and not to mislead your potential customers. So, whereas I feel like I may be partially responsible, that is only about 10%, right? The other 90% is definitely on this seller for doing what he did. And he knew what he did, right? After I received the book, I actually went through and read a lot of the reviews that people have left for this particular seller, and it's all this. It's the same thing. He's has over 1,000 sales, and it's a rating of 4.9. But the people who aren't happy, they're not happy for the exact same reasons I'm not happy. The guy purposely misled and led people to believe that the books are a higher grade in quality than what he presented, and that's not cool. It's not. Uh, the shipping was a bit on the slow side too. Now I was giving benefit of the doubt because the book was purchased, I believe on Christmas Eve or the 23rd. What I believe it was the Sunday before Christmas, which would have been the Christmas Eve. I didn't receive them until around January the 11th. Now I know that there's two holidays in between, uh, December 23rd and January 11th. So I understand that you have holiday stuff and potentially family stuff going on. I get that. And I also understand that mail might be a little bit slower because of those two holidays, but I still feel like that is a large amount of time in between my winning and receiving them, especially because I'm constantly selling stuff on eBay myself, and people are tending to get my shipments within 5 to 7 days after they win. If you win an auction or a listing from me, it usually goes out to the post office the next day or the day after. I definitely do it within 3 business days, but that's just me. I actually try to make it a point to get stuff out on time. The seller just doesn't care. That's all there is to it. The seller sees the money, and that's all they care about. They don't care about the bad reviews. They don't care about their shipping time. They don't care about the quality of their product. In my opinion, their word is trash. Um, the seller, and I'm only bringing this up. I'm not telling you personally not to purchase from them. I'm just telling you what my experience with this seller was. You can take that information, you can go read their reviews on whatnot, and you can make the decision for yourself if you want to do business with them. That's entirely up to you. The seller is a seller by the name of My Key Issue. I left them negative feedback, or I guess unhappy feedback, and whatnot asked me if I wanted some sort of compensation for it, and my response was no. That I accept my responsibility of this of what happened. Again, it's not all on the seller. It's partially me for not doing my research, not doing my due diligence. Uh, so I accept that, but that doesn't mean that I have to be happy with the books that I had received in the condition that I had received them in, or how long it took to receive them. I'm not happy about the experience at all. It sucks, right? I spent money on books that I could have used that money to spend it on an actual good copy of a book. Uh, I'm actually, the more I talk about it, and the more I hear myself saying these things, the angrier and more irate I'm getting, just talking about it. Uh, so I'm just gonna wrap things up here. Um, I think my closing statement is just going to be uh, that I am not a fan of the seller. Again, the seller is my key issue, and in my experience was that they're slow to ship. The packing was in a Gemini, so kudos for that. But that's like the most basic thing you can do is secure the books safely, right? Like that's the most basic thing you can do. So I'm not happy with the way the books were represented. I was led to believe that they were a higher grade than they were. Again, I quote unquote, they are 9.4 to 9.6, and they are not. So you, as a potential buyer, you have this information now. You can make that decision whether you want to purchase from them or not. Again, I am just getting very angry and irate the more I think and talk about it. So that seems like a good place to end this video. But before I do, I want to stress those first books that I showed off, those Silver Age Fantastic Four, wonderful. I love the way they look. I was happy with the seller. I was happy with the condition or the speed in which they arrived. I will gladly do business with that seller again. This other one where I showed off these last three books, never again, never ever again. Anyway, if you've had a bad experience with the Whatnot seller, or if you've had some experience with this seller, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if I'm just being irrational, if I'm just being a Karen. Uh, just let me know what your thoughts are. Let's start a nice conversation about this because I feel like this is something that deserves to be talked about. Anyway, until next time. Don't mind the mess. Take care. And of course, smoke bomb.